Hello everyone, it's daytime. You can call me Buster, and welcome back to another episode of Penny Ruins the Standard Ladder. Today, I am playing against Lolum. Lolum is playing as Grat. I believe we faced a Grat in the previous episode of this series. She's a very interesting CO. As you can see, her CO unit becomes, well, an indirect unit. If it's a direct unit, it gives the CO unit +1 max attack range. So an artillery will be 1 to 4 range instead of 1 to 3, and a tank will be 1 to 2 range. So it can shoot 1 tile away. And yes, it can move and then shoot 1 tile away if it's in a tank. Other than that, she gives all of her units the default 10-10 bonus, and then her Super CO power just gives all units +2 max attack range, so you have a bunch of tanks running around with 3 range. Yeah. She's a little bit crazy. She's kind of like a mini Tabitha, though, because she starts with a 0 radius, but her zone does expand at 25 instead of 30. So that's something to keep in mind. And of course, as per usual, we're playing as Penny. We're going for rain. That's what we do. Today, we are playing on the map. What is this one called again? It is called... It's not here. I don't remember what this map is called. This map is called Terrestrial Arena. I just went and checked it. I could have sworn it was here somewhere. Terrestrial Arena. Oh well. In any case, let's get started. So, I am playing as Green, player 2 this time. I'm not sure if I've shown this map on the series yet. It's another Sarastro map. You can always tell a Sarastro map by contested radars. He loves to put his contested radars. It is also a 5K start, so you can go with bikes right away. It's nice to do an infantry in the opening here because you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and go for that radar, and then 1, 2, 3 chain into the other radar, whereas a bike will go 1, 2, 3 and then can't go there because it would be 4, 5, 6, but it only has 5 move. And then it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, doesn't work, so it would be stuck there. So a bike actually takes an extra turn to go there compared to the infantry. It works to get a bike over here though. So that is what both of us do. I go for the radar right away. My opponent sends an infantry over there, and Lolum opening recon. So we're just doing our regular capture phases. Now, a lot of the contested area on this map are these cities in the corner. Right here and right here, and then of course the center area is contested. That's where the HQs are, so it's very important. Hello, Cinnamon. Oh, and Reggie too. All my pets are here. Everyone say hi to Cinnamon and Reggie. Cinnamon and Reggie are not friends. Okay, you need to go outside. Go to Mom. Alright. So, I'm a little interested in how well this recon will do. As you'll notice, there's a lot of planes. It's not going to be able to reach the roads. I believe this is the 3rd turn that this thing has been out, and it just reached the road. So it's going to be able to interrupt some caps, as you can see here. It is just barely in range to interrupt this cap, and it probably should. Honestly, it was a blunder of me to do this because I don't have a tank or anything in range to like stop it. So it's almost certainly going to do that. I probably just wasn't checking its range. Of course, with all the roads around here, it's perfectly easy for it to get through that forest. And a tank is coming out from Lolum here. There's the interrupt, as I thought. And interestingly, base skips for another one, and also does not load the CO this turn. I build a recon, send it over here, and Penny goes into a tank. That tank is very important. I need to get it out here to stop this thing from annoying me as soon as possible. I am going to continue to go for this cap. this bike actually cannot quite reach me because there's these two wastelands here. So that's safe. This one is probably going to get interrupted. There's also a tank here. So I kind of have to pick and choose where I'm going to send Penny right now. And also Grat is coming out on the eastern front. That is something to keep an eye on. And a mech comes out. And meanwhile, I've been saving up money because I wasn't quite able to build bigger units. Luckily though, my opponent goes for this capture, which I'm able to interrupt, and that allows me to take this city. Currently, I'm actually quite a bit ahead of my opponent. I am interrupting this capture right here. And this cap is going to go through. This cap is also going to go through, but I delayed it for a little while. And meanwhile, I own this city and this city while delaying this city and this radar. So I am in a pretty good spot, financially speaking. However, I would not say that Lolum will never financially recover from this. Now, this is nice. This is, I believe, a guaranteed cap right here. Unless this thing can one-shot this? No, it would have to one-shot... No, actually, no, it's a guaranteed cap. I'm going to flip that city. So, yeah, that's great. I'm going to go up to 17, and he's going to go down to 13. That's going to be great. Meanwhile, Penny is down here starting to build up some energy. If this tank wants to shoot me... I know there's stuff going on over here. Let me talk about this really quickly. So, this tank could choose to come up here and shoot me. It will take back more than it deals because I am the CO unit. I have a veteran boost plus the 1010. I'm plus 30, plus 50. I'm on top of a city, and it's my city, so if he shoots me, I'm going to heal back up. So just keep that in mind. It is a good idea to leave tanks in range of other tanks if you're in a very, very good defensive position like this. As it is, this tank is in very grave danger, and this mech is just a bit out of range, so most likely it's going to run with that. Now, but you see here, tricky Grat. She came up with the CO unit, and 1-2 shot this bike. Ugh, so annoying. These are the things you just kind of don't think of, like, oh, that tank, let's see. Yeah, it was way over here. Like, okay, this thing has to shoot this and to wall break, right? It has to shoot that. No. This is Grat. Grat can just shoot through the wall. And shoot through the wall she does. I'm sure you guys were seeing that earlier while I was talking about my CO. Like, dude, Buster, did you not see what just happened? You got interrupted in that supposedly safe capture. Oh yes, it's so safe. Yes, and now I have 2 tanks, one of them being a very scary CO, versus this. And finally I figure out, okay, Grat is scary, I need to keep my key units 1 tile back from my wall. There we go. So now it can't come and shoot me. Of course, even if I had put it here, can't quite, excuse me, can't quite attack there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start sending tanks over there. I would generally consider a CO tank to be like 1.5 tanks in terms of how much it's worth. So having 2 tanks against 2.5 tanks. Think of it that way. I don't have any math to back that up or anything, but a CO tank is generally, like, because it's so much stronger with the veteran boost, and because you have to worry about the opponent gaining charge and all that good stuff, it's essentially like a tank and a half, in my mind. For some COs, you could even consider it double a tank, like Tabitha, for example. For Grat, it's probably not that big a deal. Anyway, out comes a medium tank, and my opponent is actually hard pushing in the center right now. So we shall see if I'm able to hold that back. But meanwhile, I'm controlling the southwestern flank. The northeastern flank, I'm also slowly trying to get some control over. I have 3 tanks over there to my opponent's proverbial 2.5, like I was saying. And I respond to my opponent's medium tank with a medium tank of my own, and we've got lots of tanks coming out right now. You will notice this is a base light map, which means we're going to get a lot of those kinds of tech units. But there's also no airports. It's literally just 2 bases, and that's it. A giant ground war. Big ol' slugfest. Which is very interesting. So I capture this property. I am now up 2 properties to my opponent. I'm working on capturing this. I don't really expect it to go through, because if my opponent chooses to interrupt it, he will have to do so with one of these 2 tanks. Which, you know, he could do, but if he does, my tanks right here are going to come down and slaughter it. Oh yes. However, these other tanks will be in range, so depending on how my opponent plays it, it could be a good idea to still interrupt this, especially if you like move Grat here and farm some more energy. I've already let Grat get up to 16 energy. Remember, her zone expands at 25 and not 30. It's very important to note. There are a lot of little things about Grat where when you're playing against her, see, stuff like that. It's disgusting. Luckily, I'm going to heal, but still, like, you got to be really careful playing against Grat. Meanwhile, Penny has 19 energy. Lucky for me, this city is going to be captured. And I already have a very good, what's the word? My brain is saying deficit, but that's the opposite of what I'm trying to get. I have an anti-deficit of money. Let me know in the comments what word I'm looking for. It's good for the algorithm. And then also leave a comment saying hi to Reginald, my dog. His full name is Sir William Edward Archibald Reginald III, Esquire. He is at your service. Anyway, back to the replay. I have allowed Grat to expand her zone. This bike right here is attempting to capture my HQ. There's like a million things in range to stop that, so that's not going to happen, but it is still a threat nonetheless. And also this is happening. We don't like that. But luckily, Penny is in range to just stop that, so I can be like, hey, stop that. So we start by interrupting. Oh! You love to see it. So you see this 1 HP tank, it can't go anywhere, it can't possibly escape. All it's going to do is feed my opponent extra charge, so we delete those. We simply delete it. Literally just to avoid giving my opponent extra charge. That's all. It wouldn't have been a lot, but it would have been extra charge and something, either extra charge or like, let's say this medium tank kills it, then it would get rank 1. It's an extra 5% firepower. Why give that to my opponent? You know, this 1 HP tank, it's literally 1 HP. Like, it's not even at 10 true HP. It's 1 hit point. It has 1 defense from the plane. It can't do anything. And we delete it. Anyway, that's another important thing to note right here. Note that, bam, I shoot with this before moving Penny. That way I get a little bit extra charge. And now I'm at 49 energy. Oh, Reggie, you have to stop barking. He's barking at the cat. Anyway, where were we? So, now we are at 49 energy with Penny. Very exciting. We may get to fire off our CO power this game. I really want to see it happen. Of course, I want to see it happen every game. But, yeah. We're now capturing this property. It's probably not going to happen. But I'm doing it just to threaten it, right? I want my opponent to waste one of their big old medium tanks having to interrupt this cap. instead of shooting my juicy tanks. And also, look at this recon. It's running low on fuel. It's a pretty good recon right there. I don't know that it shot a whole lot of things. I think it probably shot like a bike or an infantry. But the fact that I've been able to use it to ward things off and wall for this long that it's running out of fuel, I'd say it's a very effective recon right there. You love to see stuff like that running out of fuel. Alright, so... Oh, I have to note, this is another grat thing. This is just one of those grat things. Okay, look. This thing starts its movement inside the CO zone. That's what it says. All units that start their actions from inside the CO zone get +1 max attack range. So you don't have to attack from inside the CO zone. It has +1 max attack until the end of its movement. So, pow. And it can just do that. It can just do that! It can just do that! And so can these two. These two can also do that. Look at the attack range. Look, this is the movement range. All the green, and the red is the attack range. And it can move and shoot on the same turn. So let's see what else happens. Ow. Ow. Just... Why don't you just shoot from a safe range? Why don't you? Oh my gosh. He does not choose to interrupt my capture right here. Now, this is a very crucial turn for me, okay? If I can... Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get my power, because unfortunately, this bike right here is the only thing within my CO zone. If I move Penny up right here so that I can start shooting things here, I could get enough energy, but as you may know, in case you don't know, you have to be able to move your CO unit to activate your CO power. So, moving it up means you cannot activate your CO power this turn. But meanwhile, I continue... Ooh, I have to get a good shot on Grat. That's very important. Alright, so... Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, actually quite good. And we're threatening another capture right here. So, that was a pretty good turn. Grat is very injured. Oh, I built a war tank. I guess I'm just seeing all these medium tanks. I'm like, okay, if you're gonna spam medium tanks, how about a war tank? It's going to take forever to get here. I think the game's probably going to be over by the time this thing even becomes relevant, but I had the money, I guess, you know, why not build it? Now, if we take a look-see here, I am up 4 properties currently. The units are 13 to 18, 73k to 87k, so I am a good bit ahead in just about every metric here, and right now, positionally, I'm looking pretty good. I'm going to capture this, although most likely one of these medium tanks is going to try to deny this, because next turn I'm going to get it, and my opponent really can't afford that to happen. This as well. My opponent can't afford to let me keep on flipping properties when I'm already this far ahead. So let's see what Lolem does. Continues capping, moving things up, using Grat. Yep, interrupting that capture, using both medium tanks to interrupt that capture. As you'll notice here, Kapow, it's at 3 HP, but the cap is only at 2. So if he wants to actually stop this cap, he has no choice but to do this, which is very, very nice for me. It means that I have 1 less medium tank shooting my actual valuable units. And my opponent's spamming more mechs and more medium tanks. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, we were able to get off a penny power. But unfortunately, it is undeniably the worst effect. We got snow, ladies and gentlemen. My opponent can see perfectly fine in the snow. That's not fun. They can move a little slower. I mean, that's nice. But come on, they can still see everything. It's no fun. Oh well. But still, we got off a power. that's going to be a boon for Penny regardless. So, off we go. We're going to continue shooting everything, and look at all these units. Look at this massive death ball of tanks in the center. And now, it's time to send a couple of units down to stop this cap before it goes through in like 5 turns. 5, like 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. Actually, mathed it out correctly. Wow, it would be 5 turns. Anyway, I'm going to stop that from happening. In theory. Like, even this thing can stop it. Also, you see all these mechs my opponent has been spamming? The one good thing about snow, they can all only move 1 tile right now. So, not very good. Not very good. I mean, it's not bad to spam mechs, especially in Days of Ruin. They're pretty good. You know, they're a little cheaper than they would otherwise be. But, yeah. Now, I have an infantry and a bike in range of my opponent's HQ, and a giant wall of tanks. There are a ton of medium tanks. Those are scary. However, I may be able to create a strong enough wall that my opponent cannot do anything about it. Regardless, I am winning so hard right now that there's almost no way I'm not going to continue to snowball my way to victory. So that's nice. I go for the cap. Time to build up a gigantic wall. There's no way you're going to break through this, right? I mean, maybe you could. And as I expected, this war tank is not going to be relevant at all. By the time it got here, like, it needs another turn or 2. Can you guys hear Reggie barking in the background? I have some pretty good noise suppression on my microphone, but he is going wild out there. Remember, leave a comment and say hi to Reggie. I will give him pettings on your behalf if you ask me to. Anyway, this game is won, as you can see. Just as the snow wears off, let's go ahead and cap that HQ, and it is a W for Penny. And me. But, well, I guess I was going to say, but mostly for Penny, but we didn't roll a good weather. So, I guess it was mostly just me playing well. But Lolem played pretty well also. All of those medium tanks were very scary. The snow actually kind of worked in my favor because medium tanks are just a bit slow naturally. But the snow makes them just as slow as a medium tank. They can only go 4 tiles. Anyway, that was the match. Yeah, very interesting one. I'd say it was a banger. So many tanks. You love to see a lot of tanks. In any case, oh, and also the bad manner missiles. The manner missiles, as I would like to say. The manner missiles. Everyone, when you're about to win, if you want to really flex on your opponent, build the manner missile before you steal the HQ. You could also build a rig. I had enough money to. Right? Yeah, I could have built another manner missile. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and don't forget to subscribe before you go for some more TinyWars replay commentaries. But until next time, goodbye everyone. It's nighttime.